solar system conspiracy theorists have long harbored suspicions that a hidden extraplanet or dwarf star lies beyond the orbit of Pluto. As a planet, it has been called Tyche or simply Planet X. As a star, Nemesis. But an exhaustive search has found no hints of this long-rumored object. NASA's Wide Field Infrared Survey Explorer has scanned the entire sky in infrared light, twice, and ruled out any hidden bodies larger than Saturn out to 10,000 times the distance from the Earth to the Sun. Further, it found no evidence for anything bigger than Jupiter out to 26,000 times the Earth-Sun distance. Pluto, for comparison, lies only 40 times farther from the Sun than Earth.
During a physical exam, doctors pick up a lot from their patients, including that patient's bacteria. To keep infections from spreading, physicians try to always wash their hands between exams. But they don't always scrub their stethoscopes. To see just how much bacteria these instruments gather, doctors examined 71 patients, using sterile stethoscopes and gloves. After each exam, researchers collected samples from the stethoscope's surface and tube, as well as 4 parts of the physician's gloved hands, the fingertips, backs and 2 locations on the palm. The fingertips became by far the most bacterially contaminated. But the runner-up was the stethoscope's surface, which imported more microbes than the palms or the backs of the hands. The study is in Mayo Clinic Proceedings.
Somewhere near the edges where the frame was surrounding it, it protected the painting a bit from fading. And so to analyze what the molecules were under the frame to tell us what they should be now. Benzine is a pioneer in the analysis of the molecular composition of materials. In this case he identified a red paint called Carmine Lake that was known to fade. He then showed a recolorized version of what we imagined the painting was, based on the molecular information provided by this surface-enhanced Raman spectroscopy. The new image is much richer, the red's more vibrant, and the woman in the painting pops out with greater depth.
That's an air gun. By exploding compressed air underwater, scientists map the subsurface of the seafloor. The process can reveal new deposits of fossil fuels and other important information, and now industry has permission to use air guns off the U.S. East Coast. Which means more dead whales. Cetaceans and other marine life rely on their ears to navigate. Air guns deafen them, if not kill them outright, as the U.S. Department of Interior admits. The sound is 250 decibels or more, much louder than a jet engine. Dozens of melon-headed whales washed up dead on Madagascar beaches following similar seismic air gun testing by ExxonMobil in 2008.
Jazz musicians are skilled improvisers. And now we know that they craft their spontaneous melodies the same way you craft a sentence. Researchers scanned the brains of 11 professional musicians doing what's called trading fours. 2 soloists take turns playing short riffs of about 4 bars. During each 10-minute session, a subject in a cramped functional MRI machine with a small keyboard traded fours with a second musician outside the scanner. As the musicians played, the language areas of their brains lit up. Specific. The players were using the regions that normally fit words together into phrases and sentences, using the rules of syntax. The study is in the journal PLOS ONE. The research demonstrates that the brain appears to treat creating music as a form of communication. After all, trading fours is a musical conversation, where each player makes and modifies melodies in response to the other.
I'm guessing you brush twice a day or aspire to. But ancestors were a little less diligent. But that's a good thing for scientists. After ancient, black-coated teeth are like time capsules, preserving early evidence of cavities or even plague DNA. Now researchers have turned 1,000-year-old teeth from a convent cemetery outside Frankfurt, Germany. And they cleaned them, much like your dentist does. We used the same dental tools, and collected the calculus from the teeth. That's molecular anthropologist Christina Wittiner of the University of Oklahoma. Inside that calculus or plaque, she and her colleagues found tiny bits of pork, bread, wheat and cabbage, identified by their DNA. Sunscreen can help prevent skin cancer. Sunscreen can help you keep looking young. So, which claim will motivate young people to use sunscreen? To find out, iPhone Junior videos to 50 high school juniors, who used sunscreen less than once a week, on average. Half saw a video that stressed the health consequences of original sunscreen. Did you know that having one bad sunburn in your life increases your chances of getting melanoma at the others? The saw a video that stressed the appearance of the sun's effect on skin damage, as can show up wrinkles, dark spots, uneven skin tones, sagging skin and skin rough leathery. 6 weeks later, the kids who watched the health video hadn't changed their habits. But the students who saw the beauty video were slathering on sunscreen 3 times a week. The findings are in the Journal of the American Academy of Dermatology. So they might always be prone to favor beauty over health. Still, the purifiers PSAs that combine both health and beauty messages could be just the thing to combine older adults to change their ways.
If the sight of Swiss cheese makes you melt or the thought of a honeycomb gets you buzzing, you may suffer from trypophobia, the most common phobia that you've probably never heard of. Trypophobia is the fear of holes. People with the phobia experience panic attacks, increased heart rate and hot sweats when they see clusters of holes. A visual scientist who suffers from trypophobia decided to investigate the phenomenon with his colleague. They performed spectral analysis on images that induced trypophobia and found that the fear-inducing images all had similar characteristics related to luminescence, contrast and light wavelengths. But they didn't know why these features caused such an adverse reaction.
Stress sucks. It can affect your body and mind. Previous research has shown that stress can even hinder our ability to remember. But these studies have typically focused on one stress at a time. What happens when we face multiple stresses? Researchers looked at pond snails, often used in memory research. They trained the snails to reduce how frequently they breathe out of water. They then tracked whether the snails remembered their training after being stressed. The snail's memory was considered intact if they reduced their attempt to breathe when removed from water. 2 common stressors, low levels of calcium, necessary for strong shells, and overcrowding by other snails, can happen in combination in the wild.
Internet herb stores claim that swallowing oregano oil can cure your cold or flu. But the devil's in the details. Oregano oil is an antimicrobial, and can even kill off that tough cruise ship plague, norovirus, but there's no evidence it can do so inside your body, scientists say. It works to inactivate pathogens before they get inside. Researchers experimented on the mouse form of norovirus, genetically similar to the hard-to-grow human strain. The treating virus colonies with solutions of either 4% oregano oil, or 0.5% carvacrol, the active ingredient. Oregano oil cut virus out, turns numbers by tenfold carvacrol. 10,000-fold the in comparison. Bleach achieves a millionfold reduction of the results, appear in the Journal of Applied Microbiology.